Welcome to News with a View, hosted by me, John A. Costa. Today is November 21st, 2025, and this is episode 164. I apologize, I have not been feeling well and took the last couple of days off, but as we can see, there's more Democratic nonsense going on. Democratic lawmakers urge military persons not to act in an illegal manner. The Democrats are truly off base with such a comment pointed at our military personnel directly. Our military has safeguards built into all our services and the leadership who ensures that its orders are lawful. To put service person's military duties in questions may put said person in jeopardy of failure to carry out such a lawful given orders, or question orders that could put others in danger by delaying such orders. So, we have a military command structure that you take an oath to follow. And in that command order are regulations, and I'll dig down deeper into this, that you are constantly trained to follow. And when those orders are not lawful, the consequences is usually through a court martial and through the Judge Advocate General's Office, JAG, and other entities inside the military that handle such cases. But the idea to tell soldiers on the ground in the United States and abroad that they must act in a legal manner, that's okay. But to word it as such that don't do anything illegally, and you saw the Democrats, there was 6 Democrats, Senators Elisa Slotkin of Michigan, Mark Kelly, who's a bag of crap, out of Arizona, along with U.S. Representatives Chris Deluzzo of Pennsylvania, Maggie Goodlander of New Hampshire, and Chrissy Houlihan of Pennsylvania. These lawmakers are reckless in not going through the military chain of command to question those officers in command and not sidestepping the process that has been established. To make a general broad statement that you feel, and it was the innuendo, and they'll all go, no, we're just telling, don't ever do anything illegal. They don't have to tell them that. They can, but they don't have to. They have a military command structure that does that for them. The idea that they would make such an outlandish statement to tell them, don't follow illegal orders, and those soldiers now going to question their commanders, I'm sorry, that is really a dangerous precedent by these Democrats. And they should be called out by their own parties to say, stop. We have people that will speak on this. We have a means to address this. But for these people to do this just shows, again, the lack of leadership inside the Democratic Party today. And it's not so much a lack of leadership. Senator Schumer is certainly competent. I don't like his politics, but as far as being a leader and knowing how to get things done, probably not a better senator sitting there. He knows the ins and outs. He's being held back. He's being stifled. He's being marginalized by radicals. The lack of leadership from Jeffries, who should have gotten that position, and now is just helplessly out there. He's swimming with no life jacket, nothing, and they're all in trouble. All the Democrats are in trouble. And it's just getting worse for them. This makes it worse. To see these Democrats stoop to such a low level of political nonsense is going to be met with a fury by all Americans. By all service people who said, I've never done anything illegal. And, we never did anything illegal. And those that did were brought to justice. It happens, just like any other, government inside a government, people inside people groups. You're going to have a problem. But to question our military is fine through the proper channels. But to suggest that the boots on the ground are acting illegally is shameful and disrespectful. Democrats have sunk to a new low. I mean, because you have nothing. Because you absolutely have nothing. Trump is in the process of correcting the economy, which your leadership screwed up. It's not going to happen overnight. We knew this was not going to happen overnight. This was not a light switch. Biden and his administration was very, very good at destroying our economy. And it doesn't get rebuilt overnight. So, the military has what's called the Uniform Code of Military Justice. It's a legal frame. Yeah, I'm getting to that, Mr. President. The legal framework for all U.S. military members governing their conduct and establishing military law. It covers a wide range of offenses from serious crimes like murder to military-specific infractions like desertion and failure to obey an order. The UCMJ ensures a constant and uniform system of military justice across all branches of the armed forces. So what does that cover? Criminal offenses such as, absent without leave and disrespect towards superiors. And of course, follows the civil laws, civilian laws such as murder, rape, and larceny, as well as, military codes. And that's off-duty and on-duty, on-base, and off-base. So the UCMJ outlines the procedures for investigating, prosecuting, and punishing individuals who commit crimes under military law, including rights like having legal counsel, a fair trial, and a right to appeal. So you have a lot of the same basic codes that civilians have, but the military is much more focused. And when you go into the military, voluntarily or through the draft at the time, you gave up some of your rights. You absolutely gave up some of your rights. But this code of military justice goes across all our military establishments. It's uniformed. One doesn't go, well, it's legal over here, but not legal over there. It applies across the board. So, there's 6 articles of it. But you are to follow the lawful commands of your superiors. And you're taught what are lawful commands. And you're trained on the lawful commands. And you're trained on the articles of engagement. And it's just not a one-time training. It's a continual training and reinforcement. So, the service members are required to follow lawful orders. Now, if these military, because, well, the Democrats told me I got to question everything, and they don't follow an order that is lawful, there will be consequences. There will be consequences. The idea that the Democrats are sowing that doubt into our troops, that is dangerous. Very, very dangerous. I won't put it on the level of being seditious, but it comes very close to it. To ask our military to actively disobey orders it thinks, the service person thinks, is illegal or questionable is very dangerous. And the Democrats don't care. They know their house is ruined, and they want to take America down with them. They hate our way of life because it's not what they wanted the way of life to be. Voting does not matter to these Democrats. Voting means nothing to them. It's their way, or we're going to take everything away from everyone. And it's beginning now. We must stop them. We must stop these Democratic maniacs. And these are the true danger. It's not Trump questioning the constitutionality and going to the courts. That's our system working, folks. Like it or not, that's the system working. But to tell our military people that they should consider an order illegal or put that thought out there into their heads. And not so much, our military is fine. They're trained. But it's putting it into the civilian heads that our military is now against us. That could be sedition. So these Democrats are crossing a very, very thin line. And I would hope that their own party people go and tell them, what are you doing? But there is no party anymore. There is no Democratic Party. It's them and those and us. There is no party. The Democrats are all but doomed. They just don't know it. But they're like a drowning person who'll just grab on anyone and drown them too. Take them down with them. And there's a lot of Democrats going now, I'm not going to follow that path. And you could just see the craziness in their eyes. These are crazy people. You see them talking. You see Kelly talking, and you could imagine his eyes spinning around in his socket. And I don't care that this guy was an astronaut. It doesn't give him any special powers. We had monkeys in space. So I'm not going to disparage our astronauts by saying monkeys can do it. But it doesn't give them any special ability or clairvoyance. And, well, I was ex-military, and these people, I was ex-military. So, yeah, well, if you're ex-military, you know what the training was. And you know how close and observant the military is in upholding the UCMJ. And for you to say that, well, I think that they don't do anything illegal, they don't need to be reminded of that. They're trained daily on that. Daily. Military members in all our branches are not simply told to follow lawful orders. They are trained, evaluated, and held accountable through their careers in the military. We have an entire network, systems that exist to reinforce this principle of obeying the laws of the military. From the Uniform Code of Military Justice to the Judge Advocate General's Office and Oversight, to command inspections and everyday peer accountability. You're not going to have one officer who goes and sees something and goes, his duty is to report that up the chain and take action. From a private to a general, from a seaman to an admiral. This is how it works. And for these lawmakers to question our service people who risk their lives daily for us, is insulting beyond being disrespectful. To put that seed into people's heads, that is a terrible, terrible disservice to our men and women in service and those who have served. The profession of our military is built on the internal and constantly checked balance between strength and restraint. You fight and then you assess. Service members are trained and retrained to act decisively, but they are also trained to pause, assess, and follow lawful paths, especially in situations where there are consequences. And it would be easy to hide in ambiguity, but you don't, because you're trained. You know, the old idea, you don't shoot a prisoner of war. Did it happen? Yes, and those persons were charged and dealt with. You don't rape and plunder an enemy. That combination of decisive action and disciplined restraint is not by accident or happenstance. It is designed by our laws and drilled into the training pipeline of every branch. Drilled into you. When these Democrats make a political video that implies or suggests that service members need public reminders to uphold our laws and international recognized laws that we follow, it misses the reality that service members practice lawful decision making every day. Every day. Not because someone tells them to do, but because it's who they are expected to be. You are trained and you are evaluated. You are tested and then retrained. A military acts on discipline, on leadership and command structure. Without it, you're just mobs with guns. And what the Democrats are suggesting is that we have mobs with guns. Gangsters. I am so outraged by what these 6 Democrats have done that I ask all moderate Democrats to contact your representatives and say, hey, I like the idea that we can question our military, but to do what these people did, no. I said before, questioning our military through the channels is fine. To put out a video that questions their commanders and the legal activities of their actions No, no. There's a process. You can challenge the president and you can challenge his actions, but you don't go on television and do what you just did. I guarantee you 2026 is going to be a disaster for you guys. And all this is going to do is going to just be more playing by the Republicans using your own words against you. We are going to use your own words and actions against you. You have learned nothing. You have learned nothing from the past, and you keep going to the same playbook. Discredit, misinformation, lies, and you think that's going to get you there? We are so much now more resistant to that and aware of it. Hillary Clinton's fake dossier, the Russian collusion, COVID. We are questioning everything that has taken place. And we are drilling down for the truth. And now you're not going to have the Epstein files, because what can be released will be released. There'll be a lot of redaction in it. There'll be a lot of stuff. But you didn't release? No, because there's an ongoing investigation that you called us for. You demanded this investigation, Democrats, so now you got it. Explain to your people what the law says about withholding information during an investigation. Remind your people. You won't. Because the last thing you people want is an educated vote. You keep saying how uneducated the Republicans are. You gotta be kidding me. We are beating your pants off. And doing it legally. This is going to be a huge mistake for you guys. And unless the Democrats as a whole jumps on these people and go, they don't speak for us, and this shouldn't have been done, and we don't support what they did, you might get a little integrity back. But you won't. You won't, because you're so spineless. You're so spineless. And I don't like every Republican that's out there. And I think a lot of them are spineless too. But you have some good people out there. And there are some good Democrats out there. Newsom ain't one of them. If you're holding out your hope for him, like there was an article, the president, former president Bill Clinton, gave his wink that Newsom would make a good president. Really? Really? But we shall see. I said I was going to keep this to 25 minutes to 30 minutes, and I'm at the 30-minute mark now. So I'm going to end this. Please leave comments. Please subscribe to my channel. If you listen to it, subscribe to it. because then you get things that I'm putting out there and shorts and things of that nature. Leave me comments. Say, hey, you're wrong. This is what we should be doing. This is telling them. That's fine. I'm for that. I'm for an open dialogue. We can have that. Politicians have to adhere to a different type of transparency. Come join. See how the other half is thinking. It's important. You didn't listen in 2024. You didn't sit there. You listened to the people that kept telling you over and over again, Biden, 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 he's our guy. Until he wasn't your guy. And then your vote meant nothing because they anointed Harris. So, the people that just cry of democracy, we don't have a democracy. We're a republic. Please give to a charity if you can. If you can't give to a charity, please give to a food bank. They need all the help they can get. They just don't need food. A monetary donation to a food bank goes a long way because they know what they need. They know, it's nice. You bring, 6 cans of corn that you got and, on sale. That's good. Don't get me wrong. Bring food to them. They'll accept it all and hand it out. But a cash donation or monetary donation to them is very specific. We know we need, canned meat. We know we need, canned fish. We know we need feminine products. We know we need daily care products. That's all I ask you to do. Say a prayer. Prayer does work, regardless of what the Democrats tell you. And with that, I'm going to end today's show. And it's Friday. Maybe I'll do a Saturday show because I didn't do anything during the week after Tuesday. Like I said, I just wasn't feeling good. I'm still not up to snuff, but I'm here. All right, everyone. You have a good one and be safe.